America has lost a legend. Acclaimed children's book writer Walter Dean Myers, author of more than 100 books, literary advocate for our nation's most vulnerable children, has died. Last year, the Book Look had an opportunity to sit down with Mr. Myers at the 2013 Book Expo America. As we mourn the death and celebrate the life of Walter Dean Myers, the Book Look thought that it would be an excellent time to bring you this never-before-seen footage.
And I'm here with the prolific Walter Dean Myers. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit, start off by talking about literacy and the state of African American literacy, particularly as it relates to children and boys. I know that you are doing your stint as the Library of Congress National Ambassador for young people's literature, trying to get the title all the way right. But how has this issue impacted your time in that position?
It's difficult, but you know, the problem is that people tend to want to ignore young males, especially who can't read well. And what I need to do is to call people's attention to the fact that this large amount of kids are being left out. And so you can go to entire cities and find the schools are just not doing a good job. And it's not only the schools, but it's the communities as well. So the communities have to re-engage. You know, we have to re-engage in the idea of teaching our own kids, you know, and from the age of 3 months on, you know. So it's daunting, but it's something that I'll do for the rest of my life.
So what are some of the projects or activities that you've gotten the opportunity to do in this role?
Well, what I do is I've been talking to young people and young parents and guardians. Now, not only parents, but guardians as well, grandmothers, cousins, and what have you, trying to encourage them to read with their kids at a very early age, trying to encourage them to take up the challenge. You know, this is a very wealthy country. We can take this challenge if we choose to, but you know, it's like some communities, the unemployment rate is 40 to 50% among black males, you know, and no one is paying that. You know, that's not a headline. There should be headlines, you know, and the literacy problem is the same thing. There should be headlines, you know, but it's not, and it's a shame. It's just a shame, you know. And so I'm trying to get people to pay attention, and that's the big thing.
So I understand that with like new Common Core standards that they're expecting kids to read chapter books younger and younger and younger. I have a second grader and they're introducing actual chapter books now in like first grade even. What do you think, what kind of impact do you think that's going to have on our children?
Well, the problem with all of this is not that they are introducing the chapter books earlier. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that when kids are not doing well with the chapter books, they're ignoring that fact. You know? So I went to a school in Newark, and a school of 400 some kids, and they allowed me to speak to 14 of them. You know, so you're hiding.
14 kids?
14 kids, you know, and out of 400, because these were the quote, the good kids, the kids are doing right. But books transmit values, and every kid understands that. And if they don't find themselves in the books, you are telling them that they are not valuable. I had the same conversation years and years ago with James Baldwin. Now, James Baldwin, who grew up near me in Harlem, James said that he loved to read as a kid, but he did not find himself in the books. And so he went to Europe as many of the jazz people, Richard Wright, went to Europe, trying to find themselves in books. And well, my books don't have to be good, flat out. They don't have to be good. All they have to do is reflect the lives of the kids who are in these inner cities, who come from one-parent homes. You know, they have to reflect them as families and as real people. That's all you have to do.
So, how did you become so prolific with it? And is there anything that you haven't covered in those 100 books?
When I was a kid, I was called hyperactive. I couldn't sit still, high energy level, and they wanted to give me what was the equivalent of Ritalin, because I'm too active, jumping around. You know. Now I just harness that energy and produce a lot of books. You know, many of these kids who they're giving drugs to and trying to calm them down to make the classroom easier. You know, they don't need that. They need to get these kids busy and intellectually stimulated.
Well, you have so many books, so many awards, titles, accolades. What is next for you?
Well, I did this book, which is young kids trying to make it, people trying to discourage them, even other kids trying to discourage them because they don't want them to stand out. And after this, I'm going to be doing a self-help book. You know, and I'm trying to find ways of explaining to young people why they are discouraged. Not, not just tell them the right thing to do, but tell them why they're not doing it now, and give them insights on how they can help themselves. My name is Walter D. Myers. I've written over 100 books. I am currently the National Ambassador for Young People's Literature. And I love what I do. I've had the pleasure of having a life in books, a life in reading, and it's a wonderful life.